Hey guys, Max here. Welcome to the College Investor video series. In this bit, we're going to touch on 10 interesting ways to make money with, you guessed it right, your car. And no, we're not talking about selling your vehicle, although that's probably the easiest way to get the most amount of money. No, we're going to touch on ways that you can actually drive your vehicle and make money. Number one is ride sharing. That's the most in vogue one over the last 5 or 6 years. Uber is the biggest player in the game. They've been around since 2009. Man, time flies, right? Almost 10 years. And then Lyft came in a couple years later. But there's also different local ones. So Uber and Lyft are pretty much almost everywhere in the US, I would imagine, or everywhere, and a lot of places in the world, worldwide. But there's also local ones. So check between those two as well, your local ones. Most drivers have Uber and Lyft open because it gives you more opportunities to pick people up and earn money. Delivery. Who ever thought delivery would be so much fun? There's actually a few now. Uber Eats, DoorDash, among other smaller ones, but there's not a small amount of apps that let people be more lazy, like me, and have things delivered to your doorstep. So check in with those two, delivering food as well as groceries, as well as random other stuff. Number 3 is renting your car. So actually you're not even driving it. But Turo and Getaround are two different applications and web-based apps that'll let you rent your car to random people, which may sound a little weird. So if you have that Ferrari, maybe not so much, but those with normal cars like myself, it might be a good idea. And especially if you're in a more city and urban based neighborhood where they charge for parking or have a parking space you have to pay for, maybe you can rent out the car part-time so you don't have to pay for that rental. Because I promise you, living in Northern California, being in San Francisco plenty of times in my life, it's insane what they charge for parking. So this might be a total win-win for both parties. But maybe you want a wrap. No, not the cute wrap that they serve at Greek places, but wrapping your car. Wrapify, yes, Wrapify is a website that allows advertisers as well as people with vehicles to mingle and see what makes sense. They can give you up to $400 a month for having a full wrap around your car, which is really tasty. No, which is just a logo and a big thing around your car showing their business name. So you don't even have to change what you're doing, just keep driving the car and show off their beautiful logo. If you're in a city like New York City, San Francisco, and very, very densely populated areas, you may be able to hire yourself as a mover. No, that doesn't mean you have to put your muscle tank on and lug a bunch of boxes around, but actually just using your vehicle and lugging people's stuff from one space to the next can actually make money, especially in places where people all don't have vehicles. So if you live in the suburbs, this is not for you. But being in a really, really tightly knit metropolitan city, it may be a good bet for you. And who doesn't like extra money on the weekend, right? How about just being a safe driver though? Insurance companies are now cutting checks for safe drivers. Now, safe drivers probably means no accidents and no tickets. So if you're speeding 85 on the highway, shame on you. Go 65 or 70, whatever the speed limit is. But Allstate cuts a $50 check every 6 months for no accidents. It's pretty cool. As well as State Farm gives you up to 50% off your premiums if you're a safe driver. And they actually have the sensor that plugs into your OBD2 sensor on your vehicle to track to make sure you actually are a safe driver. So if you don't have either of those two insurance companies, it might be worth looking into that. And just being a safe driver in general, thank you for driving safely. Now, what would be a list in this day and age without Amazon on it? Amazon allows you to deliver pretty much everything from foot cream to vegetables to plasticware and everything in between. It really is amazing. Prime members, you have access to this, I believe, included for a small fee, but it might be worth looking into being a driver for them as well as being a customer. Maybe you'll be able to pay for your Prime membership by being a driver. Now, who has a soft spot in their heart for old people? I do. They should have called me Jerry because I love Jerry people. Anyway, elder care transit is also a way to make extra money. But old people should not and do not drive unless they're very stubborn, like my grandparents were. With that being said, though, there's lots of services like eldercare.com that you can partner up with and perhaps have a good old time driving the elderly folks, as well as hearing stories from Vietnam, World War II, as well as what it was like in 1965. Now that sounds like a total win-win to me. Nannying and babysitting. Now, I love little kiddos. I love throwing them around and playing on the jungle gym. But they also need transportation because when you're 7 years old, you can't drive. I know, crazy, right? I was driving when I was 10 back in the day, way back in the day. But when you're young, you just don't drive. So having someone responsible is really able to do that. A service called Hop, Skip, Drive, say that 3 times, Hop, Skip, Drive, operates in a few different markets right now, and it helps transport kids 6 years old and up. So it could be another route of you creating some side hustle income. But there's so many other occupations that don't require an application on the phone or anything online to do that, that really do require you to have reliable transportation. Delivering for a specific restaurant, being a hairdresser, Mobile One, doing all sorts of different things like photography, catering, doing house cleaning services. These are all really good things that can bolster your resume as well as get you in the door for doing these types of services. So that was our 10. I know there's probably a ton more, so comment and subscribe below, some button up here. Click that, comment on there, you guys will see me on there. I want to hear a little bit of banter. What other ways can you make money with your car that are safe? Nothing that's super unsafe. And make sure to go in the blog post down below and click on and enter your email for the proven ways to boost your side hustle income. Sign up today to get some more information and start making your side hustle a reality right now.